Good evening. This is your Pisces astrology reading for the month of September 2018. It is a divine reading that is going to encompass speaking towards the divine feminine and the divine masculine and how to tie it back in into sacred balance. And so therefore it will cover your life, your love, your relationships, your career, the whole nine. So getting right into it, you're on the top row right here, which is your divine feminine. You have what's good in the month of September, what's going to be the bad or the heavy part of the energy that you're going to deal with in September, and how to bring that aspect back into balance. Same thing down here with the divine masculine. What's going to be good for the month of September for the masculine, what's going to be the bad for the divine masculine, and what's going to be required to bring the divine masculine back into balance. And then again, you're going to want to bring your divine feminine and masculine together to find sacred balance. And just another quick note, when I'm saying feminine and masculine, it is not gender. This is the generic flow of energy. With your divine feminine, you're dealing more with your intuition and creativity aspects. With your divine masculine, you're dealing with logic and order. So it's not male female. This is energetic vibrations. This is the last house, the Pisces. We just left a full moon in Pisces, so it's still a lot of relevance. A lot of the star alignments are still having a Pisces type feel. The number is 12. If you watched any of my videos or heard me talk, 12 for me is the witness energy. That is when you need to see yourself for who you truly are. And that will give you the best sense of communication. That 1 and that 2 makes a 3. And that's where you can find your communication and your triangulation of self. That is when you witness yourself in the sense of your mind, body, and soul. So getting right on into it with the divine feminine, how what's going to be the good for the month of September, which again is a 9. It's your highest vibration. It's when you're going to have to make some reconciliations with karmic situations, or when you want to bring things to an end. Does not always have to be karmic related, but it's going to be under the Lady of Lightning, which is the Oya card for me. It's the change card, transmutation, transformation. It's going through those storms, or in some cases being the storm, knowing when you need to sever things through those, shock and awe type systems, and just, being definitive and cutting clear of, I'm not going to take this because guess what? It no longer serves. And that's the key theme for 2018. What no longer serves should be shaken free. And we're going into the 9th month. So if you were fighting it, you might get ready to either lose that fight or fool yourself into thinking that you're winning that fight and building yourself up for some more days ahead. Just do it like that. The Lady of the Lightning, it's a 35. How you're communicating with yourself will be how you communicate with yourself will be how you move. That movement will either be bringing you manifestation on the good side, or it will take you into manipulation on the bad side. And that side, that's when you're going to start dealing with struggle and strife. The Lady of the Lightning, as I said, deals with total paradigm shift, sometimes shock. Remember I said, sometimes you're going to have to be that shock and awe. And you're going to have to surprise people because of, say on a job. I've been working a job for 23 years. I don't see retirement in sight, or even if I do see retirement in sight, it's not going to be enough for me to live. So why am I keep doing it? Why do I keep doing it anyway? They're going to be shocked when you go in and be like, hey, guess what? I finally decided to start that business that I kept procrastinating because I was scared and didn't have enough belief in myself, while I'm sitting here helping you pay for your house notes and your car notes and sending little Johnny to college. And I'm sitting here wondering how I'm going to make ends meet. Well, I broke out of that fear because I learned how to witness myself, and I became that fish, and I'm moving myself along. So now I'm going to hit you with a little shock and awe. So that's just an example of how you could tie that into career, which could very easily be tied into love and life. Somebody thinks that they've got you up under their thumb, and they've been abusing you for years after years, and then all of a sudden you're like, pow, can't take it no more. Total paradigm shift. I love you, but I love me more. And in that sense is when you get into the bad, but again, bad meaning just a heavy weighing situation. The energy is going to be more prominent in this position. So for the month of September, what may be weighing on you more so than anything will be that spiral dancer. And that is that circuitous route and perception. Once you do get to that soul awareness in the divine feminine, that where you need to make changes on what no longer serves, it struggles. It's a struggle. You try and figure out, how am I going to survive? Because now you're in that circuitous route of trying to stay in constant flow, but at the same time, think about a circuitous route spiral. It goes around and it always comes back into sight of where it just left. Your perception is going to be kind of screwing with you a little bit here, because it's like, if I leave, I got to make sure I don't mess around and backslide. I can't go back into what I left. And so you're going to sometimes be a little brutal on yourself, because you're going to be worried about not falling back into the traps. Okay, I panicked. I got to go back and eat crow and ask these people for this job back. Or, okay, I left him, but now I'm struggling, and I don't know if I really want to struggle, so let me go back to this safety. Let me go buy this house with this person, or let me go buy this car with this person. Let me go do something to tie my energy back into a situation that's already dead. And that's where the spiral can easily become a web. So you have to watch that. So stay in flow, and do not be the source of your own manipulation. That 5. The best way to bring the divine feminine back into balance will be going into the spirit whisperer. Thinking about the spirit whisperer, even though it starts talking about, divine guidance and higher knowing, which basically is under that 3 energy. 3 is communication. In order to hear someone whisper, that means you have to pay attention. You have to stop moving your mouth and stop moving your muscles so much, and slow yourself down enough to even hear what's being whispered. And the spirit whisperer can be seen as higher self through the form of divine feminine, which deals with your intuition, which will link you into your higher self. Or it could be seen as, and that would be the higher knowing aspect of it. Or it could be divine guidance, as in, dealing with your ancestors, Orisha, angel, or any other format or pantheon that you want to ascribe to. It's all aspects of the universe. You are the universe. So the best way to keep your divine feminine in flow for September is make the changes that you want to see yourself go into, and stay in flow. Do not beat yourself up, but always stay aware of what your higher self and your intuition is whispering to you, as well as the messages that you are hearing or seeing or feeling from the universe. If you trust that process there, then that change is going to be a beautiful thing. It may be hurting a little bit, but that's because we've been caught in systems for so long to where we forgot how to heal ourselves in whole. So if you're going towards a true goal that you know that is really something righteous for yourself, endure that pain until you realize that there is no pain at all. And I don't mean that in a sense of where there's not going to be no hurt, but you understand what I'm saying. You're going to grow through to the point to where you become numb to what held you, because you're going to be so in love or enticed by what you want to hold you. And so coming down here into the divine masculine, the good for the month of September, again, which is a 9, highest vibration. The highest vibration can bring you to totality, and that's what's on this card is a 10. 10 is completion. It's the Arrow Master card. It's hitting the mark, intention, detachment. Thinking about up here with divine feminine. The divine feminine is the ruler of intuition. The divine masculine is the ruler of instincts. It is ruled by order and logic. Those are the things that are going to be very enticing to your intentions. But what you're going to have to do is understand that with divine masculine aiming at things, it does so in a linear fashion because it applies science mind and logic, versus the divine feminine that says, hey, I might end up going left in order to go right. But as long as I'm in flow, then I'm going to be good. So you'll have to learn to detach from them patriarchal ways that are in your mind of trying to apply logic and order to things and thinking, if I did good to this person, then they should do good to me. It's not going to always be the case. Or if I put in all this work, in that work example, I put in all this work, then it should pay out dividends. No. This world is set up where certain elements have put themselves ahead of everything else. And we bought that system for eons, and now it's going to be that same hurt that I was just speaking of. When you're going to leave it, it's going to hurt because we were taught not to heal. So in setting that mark on what you're trying to get to, understand it's not going to be a linear fashion. That'll be a deception of your soul And that's easily found in divine masculine energy with that logic mind. So as you're shooting, detach so that you can find your way towards that wholeness. What's going to be the heavy energy or the bad energy is the shadow queen. It will require you to understand when the knowledge you're acquiring is going to be towards helping you cast light on the things that are basically hidden in the shadows. Last year, with 2017, it was the year of the one. We were supposed to be doing all the shadow work to prepare for this year of illumination and this year of reflection, 2018, where all our bullshit got called out on us, or even not to just say, the bullshit. It was just everything that was ahead for us. We were supposed to see within ourselves. But if you did not purposely, or I should say effectively, get into all your shadows, you are still under manipulation. And 9 times out of 10, it's manipulation of self. So be secure in what you are trying to aim for, and make sure that you're acquiring the proper knowledge on whether it is a realistic thing or whether you're still chasing old systems, basically, again, under this masculine energy. You're still trying to find things that are going to give you a sense of order and logic, even when they are clearly illogical. And that's ego stuff. Ego will tell you what it wants, and even though it knows it can't have it, it's still going to keep trying to pump you down that road. And if it pumps you down that road, it can take you into an imprisoned mindset, and that will lead you into poverty. So the way you're going to have to balance this divine masculine energy is by being aware that you may be under self-sabotage. And that was because if you did not look at what foundation you was pumping all your potential into, it can take you out of self-awareness, which was that 7 from that 16. And then you get over here, if you fall for that ego trap, it imprisons you, and it makes you only see the small stuff. It makes you think that you're only a part of the system to the effect of making sure that the system works, not even honoring or understanding that it's the other way around. The system's supposed to work for you, not you work for it. And there's no vanity in there, or there's none intended. It's just that when you start thinking of things as in that struggle mentality of like, I'm not deserving, that's that poverty consciousness. And that will keep you imprisoned, because you're not speaking your abundance. You're not speaking to your full potential. And when you don't speak to your full potential, your full potential, I should say, if you're not speaking towards your full potential, you're not speaking into balance. 3 + 1 is 4. Now, the way you can tie your divine feminine and the divine masculine in together is by becoming sacred balance under the form of the Desert Prince in reverse. And it's survival and false promises. And basically what this is saying is let that shit go. Let it go. False promises from people, false promises from systems, false promises from places and things. If it's not breaking out the dividends, if it's not keeping you in that flow, and if it's not speaking to your soul, even if it's a light whisper, and if you're feeling imprisoned, let that shit go. Because the desert prince lives in a desert. And a desert is what? A place of scarceness to where you barely even have enough water to survive. So do not find yourself being a desert prince. Let go of that thinking that you have to struggle to have something. And stop thinking that you're going to follow false promises and come out ahead. And that's that 1 and that 9, which becomes a 10. And it will keep you from having completion, because you will not honor the potential to get through your karmic lessons, or honor your highest vibration, which is that 9. And this is a 9 we're coming into with September. So once again, just get out of that scarcity thinking. And if somebody is not giving you a promise that you know that they can keep, and even this is to yourself, if you're building yourself into promises that you know you can't keep, let that shit go. Peace and wholeness.